Not every magic item out there is created equal.
In fact, you might only get half of one.
And for those misforgotten items, that's why we have the remainder bin. Welcome to the Homebrew Crew. I'm Tony, this is Sean, and have we got a treat for you today?
Yes. Some of our favorite things that we would like to review on Homebrew Crew are magic items, and particularly magic items that are really weird and funny, and the remainder bin is definitely no exception.
Now, this one was sent to us by Maxwell Zener, and this is available on the DMsGuild. It is the remainder bin. It's 49.5 magic items guaranteed to bring chaos and whimsy to your game.
Yes, exactly. And you are reading the right, it is 49.5. If you actually want to figure out what the half is, be sure to actually pick this up for yourself. But the really nice thing about this is that you're going to find magic items that have a couple quirks or are a remix of something you may have seen in other content and is a little not as potent as we'll call it. So.
Yes, you might even call them impotent.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So we're going to take a look at these now. Let's get into them. Okay, so the artwork on this thing is pretty amazing.
It kind of really sets the mood for what you're about to jump into. So really like this cover artwork here. Again, remainder bin gives you a nice idea as to what we're jumping into. Let's go ahead and look at our first item here. Now, a Homebrew Crew first in a while, we had to narrow down the list that we were going to feature on the video.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. Sometimes we'll go through one of these PDFs that someone sends us or something we found in DMsGuild, and we have to pick and choose, and we go, I guess that one's okay for the video, and this one's okay for the video. However, we had the opposite problem here. A lot of them were okay for the video, and we actually had a list of like 10, and we went, no, that's going to be way too long.
Yes, exactly. So let's look at the first of our picks. If you're a fan of Charlie Brown, then you are going to greatly appreciate the Blanket of Security. This is an uncommon wonders item. While carrying this blanket in your hand, you cannot be frightened, but you must hold the blanket in at least one hand, which cannot then be used to grip any other item.
Yeah, so basically, yes, you're immune to being frightened, which is great,
yep.
Which is really great. However, you only have that one hand, so you're not holding your shield, you're not holding any spell focus, you're not holding anything else. It's a lot to give up, but also has some great benefit to it.
Yeah, it's hilarious, but very mechanically sound when it comes to balancing purposes. I think it's really good for an uncommon item, and it's really cute, so...
Just a quick mention on some of these on here. The Boots of Elven Snobbery, the Circle of Strictly Foresight. Some of these are just very interesting items as they are, and believe me, you're doing yourself an injustice not to pick this one up.
Yeah, exactly.
So our next one here, this is one of my favorites. Let me read this one. I love this one. This is the Crystal Ball of Menu Reading. Okay, so the mage who crafted this item did so while extraordinarily hungry, right? So as a result, it's focused almost exclusively on food. While touching the 6-inch diameter crystal, you can use an action to cast a modified form of the scrying spell, DC 17, with it, but instead of seeing and hearing the target, you actually go back to a time when they were having their most recent meal. So you get to see the big bad chowing down on his dinner and anything like that. You can also use it to cast the sending spell, but you can only use it to cast sending to somebody who is proficient in cook's utensils or brewer's tools.
Yes, so it's very particular, and you may not think it is super useful, but imagine that you're hunting down, this target in your game, and you know that they were at this one restaurant because you used your Crystal Ball of Menu Reading, and you decide to interrogate and send messages to the cook that was there. Very useful. Very useful. Very niche.
Very cool. But at the same time, think about it. You can see the last meal that the guy had, right? So you know that he likes roast pork. Great. So now you have a bargaining ploy.
Just narrowed it down.
Right. You can find, okay, give me all the restaurants in the Sword Coast that serve roast pork.
Right.
Or you can give it as an offering to him and like, oh, how did you know? You can tempt him with it. Things like that.
It's an interesting thing because, scrying itself is actually a very useful spell, kind of like a little bit in that mid-tier spell casting that you normally wouldn't get, just off the bat. And it's really nice to see when an item allows you to use those higher level spells, but with a bit of a caveat. So this is actually a really, really, really fun item to use.
It's
so,
cool.
Yeah.
All right. This one you liked.
This one really speaks to my heart. This is the Mug of Endless Coffee. It's a common wonders item. Who doesn't want a mug that keeps refilling with hot coffee? As a bonus action, you can speak a command word that causes the mug to fill with a caffeine-rich beverage, sweetened to your preference. Drinking from this mug will cure one level of exhaustion and force you to make a wisdom saving throw. On a failure, you are addicted to its brew, and you must use the next 1d4 bonus action to continue drinking from the command word, and it does not remove any more exhaustion, but you become jittery and irritable.
Leave me alone. I don't have a problem. You have a problem.
Giving you disadvantage on dexterity and charisma checks for 4 hours. This can be ended by lesser restoration or similar magic. Again, really great example.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
How many Red Bulls does it take to get me to that point?
Exactly right.
But I love this because it actually plays upon. It handles a situation that players oftentimes come up with, that exhaustion.
Mm-hmm.
But the cool thing about it is that detriment to it just makes it so balanced and so great with it. Like, yes, I can cure a level of exhaustion. It's not a problem. However, this coffee, the stuff that comes out of this is,
it's really good stuff.
It's really good stuff.
Yeah, I think having the negative of not being able to use bonus actions is a very interesting thing. Definitely adds that element of risk to it. But again, very useful in the right hands. And again, really well themed. I do want to say really quick, the text in here is super well written. I think a lot of the writing here is really tight, which really adds to the value of these items. But really cool one. And I'm a coffee lover, so I can't resist.
And they are humorous. Like every single one of these, just you can read through these, and it's a
treat.
Joy.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Oh, the potion of earth breathing.
Oh,
now,
boy.
I have an item in my campaigns that's similar to this.
You do.
It's the cap of lava breathing. But go ahead and read. This is the potion of earth breathing, and it's got a good story behind it.
And this is a really good story. So the popularity of the potion of water breathing inspired mages to experiment with potions that allow safe travel in other elements. Research into the potion of fire breathing was discontinued after too many test subjects burned to death. The potion of air breathing works very well, but not that many people found a use for it, so it is no longer regularly manufactured. The potion of earth breathing is quite effective, allowing you to breathe normally even when trapped within dirt or soil. Sadly, it does not allow you to move freely while trapped. Still, perhaps maybe some of value in some very niche circumstances. Its effects last for 1 hour.
Right, so I can see things like mold earth or what have you.
Or if you're buried by rubble,
Right.
It has uses.
Yeah, of course you had to have drank it before.
And assume that you would be buried in that day or something.
So how does it work in quicksand, do you think?
Oh yeah, I would imagine it works, but again, doesn't really help you escape the quicksand is the problem.
So. No, you just won't die of suffocation.
Yeah, you'll die with some other horrible method, but
or scorpion.
Yeah, exactly.
You never know.
Again, this was actually pseudo useless, but again, it could find use. But the fact that it's just kind of this funny, hilarious item is really cool. And again, kind of inspired by something you had in your own campaign.
Yeah, I thought this was great.
Yeah.
All right, now this last one that we're going to look at here, I've had this reminds me of my mother.
Oh, well that's well I don't know if that's good or bad. So let's see. This is the Wand of Resentful Cleaning. It is a common wand. As an action, you can attempt to use this wand to clean a surface, object, or creature as if you would cast Prestidigitation. Before the spell takes effect, roll a d20. 10 to 20, spell work as intended. 4 to 9, the spell is cast, but the wand complains loudly and bitterly about how the wielder never thanks it for its work, just takes it for granted, never takes it out for nice dinner, etc. These complaints are audible to a distance of 100 feet. On a 2 to 3...
I take it back. My mother is not that loud or complaining.
Oh, okay, yeah, 100 feet out. That's really impressive. On a 2 to 3, the spell is not cast, but the wand audibly insults the wielder. These insults are audible to a distance of 100 feet. On a 1, the wand says, "Oh, you want this clean? I'll show you clean," and clings so aggressively that on a surface or non-magic item, colors are washed out and or scratches are produced. If this effect is directed at a creature, the creature takes 1d4 force damage along with the cleaning.
Now now that wand is angry.
Yeah.
It's
bitter. There's baggage there.
Okay, this reminds me of my mother, not at all. But here's what's cool about this. There are a lot of items in this module, in this set, that have an attitude to them.
Yes.
Like we didn't even mention the crossbow.
Yeah, which is crossbow, mind you.
Yeah, so it's literally a bow that when you shoot it, it shoots insults as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of these things are just amazing here. Again, it's 49 and a half different items. This is definitely one that you guys will want to pick up, and you can pick it up on the DMsGuild. Now, I'm not going to put that thing back here at the bottom because last time it did this little loop-de-loop and ran off. But let's just watch it do the loop-de-loop again. It must be something with our coding. But it is the Remainder Bin by Maxwell Zener. You can pick this up in the DMsGuild. The link will be in the seat. There it goes. Link in the description below if you have any questions or anything like that. Now, we also are very interested in your magic items.
Yes, do you have anything that also hurls insults when it's used, or things that are resentful about its existence? Well, if you do, be sure to let us know in the comments down below. We love hearing about your homebrew items and things like that, and we love hearing back from you guys.
That's right, and remember, the best campaigns are always the ones that are homebrewed. So until next time,
keep brewing.